Hello and welcome to Everywoman. In the last of our current series, we meet the brave women making a difference on the front line. Bringing peace to tortured minds, the Bosnian psychologist who treats the rape victims of war. The nurses risking their lives to save others in the chaos of southern Thailand. And crossing the divide, bereaved Palestinian and Israeli families put aside anger for peace. We start with central Bosnia, where thousands of women have been left mentally and physically scarred by their treatment during the Bosnian War. Documents suggest anywhere from 20,000 to 50,000 women were raped during the conflict, mostly by Serb men, although others were involved too. Many victims were kept in organised rape camps and assaulted many times. Most were Muslim women who are still trying to come to terms with their horrific experiences. One woman who devotes her time to helping them is Marijana Senjak, a trained psychologist and director of the non-governmental organisation Medica. Everywoman met her in the town of Zenica.
Zenica, central Bosnia, home to Marijana Senjak, a psychologist who's on her way to see a client.
We are going to home visit. This is one war rape survivor, originally from northern Bosnia. She came in our city in her age of 17, 10 years ago. She survived war rape. She gave birth to the daughter out of war rapes. Later on, she got another daughter out of partnership relationship. Both children are in orphanage.
Marijana's client is still traumatised 12 years after she was raped. And like many raped women who had children, she has never told her daughter.
Last conversation showed that she is not willing to tell, and our experience is also that women who got children out of war rape, in majority of cases, didn't tell their children yet, although they are now in age of 13, 14.
It's believed that tens of thousands of women were raped during the war. Some were killed. Many survivors never told anyone. Although the conflict may have been over for 12 years, Marijana's client is one of many casualties of war.
I can't walk. Even when I take a stronger dose of medication and calm myself down, I can't walk properly. Even then, you know. Why was life so cruel to me? I ask myself that 50 times each year. Sometimes I ask myself this question all the time. Sometimes, if I'm with people I love, I forget about it for a while.
Azra was just 17 when she was raped, and it was her first sexual experience. She is now nearly 30, and it has overwhelmed her life. She has psychosomatic-induced arthritis, and she hasn't been able to walk properly for over 5 years.
I forgave myself. I understood that I was young, that I was a child. But perhaps I can't forgive others, and until I do that, you can't live with yourself. I feel as if I'm making excuses in order to blame others.
Azra wasn't alone. During the war, many women came here to Zenica through the mountains, escaping concentration camps and sometimes years of forced sexual slavery. These were not isolated cases.
What we can observe from all these patterns, it was deliberated, it was on purpose to create the fear, to threaten the people, to escape, to leave the houses, to leave the places, to leave the villages, to conquer the villages, to take the territory, to take the property. The purpose is to make a robbery.
Marijana thinks this wasn't just a policy of ethnic cleansing. It was also to destroy a fundamental value of society, the family unit.
And it also touched the most intimate sphere, sexuality. What is any society very intimate? So it destroyed the core, the fabric of the family and of the sexual and social and psychological integrity of women.
Marijana continues to help women. This is a safe house where women find refuge for themselves and their children. There is a family environment and home-cooked food by the staff who try to provide stability. Today, it is mainly a refuge for victims of domestic abuse.
We face increase of domestic violence. We can discuss about more possibility for reporting cases than from the before of the war. And we also have untreated trauma by war veterans. We also have a high rate of unemployment. And we also have untreated community trauma.
Marijana has now been counselling people for 15 years, hearing their stories of terrible suffering and degradation.
Hardly learn in Bosnia to keep life normal, to provide some small pleasures and some small things what we love to provide also for us in our life. It means to walk, to read, to do some nice things what you love, to leave the times for family, for friends.
Marijana Senjak doing some amazing work there. Now, in Lebanon, families are still dealing with the legacy of the war between Israel and Hezbollah in the summer of 2006. Around 1 million cluster bombs were dropped by Israel towards the end of the war, and they continue to kill or injure civilians every day. Now, the job of mine clearance used to be exclusively male, but now organisations are training women to find and defuse the bombs. Everywoman was given exclusive access to a UN demining unit, and we followed Hanan Khalil and Namet Kaseb in their mission to make Lebanon safer.
My name is Dalia Farran. I'm the spokesperson for the Mine Action Coordination Center South Lebanon, responsible of overall coordination and clearance management of cluster bomb and landmines in South Lebanon. The deal that we made with the different NGOs, companies, and so on working in cluster bomb clearance is that we encourage them to hire and train local people from the area. And the idea behind that is first to build some of national capacity and to support the economy. A lot of unemployment, especially after the last war. Up until a few months, it was mainly males. Then the Swedish Rescue Service Agency, they had the idea of why not open the vacancy also for the females.
اسمي حنان خليل، عمري 23 سنة، معي إجازة علوم سياسية وإدارية، وأنا من جنوب لبنان.
أنا نعمة كساب من جنوب لبنان، 22 سنة، ما في عندي شيء محدد بحياتي أشتغله، بس بحب الشيء اللي فيه روح المغامرة والشيء الصعب.
يعني إحنا شركتنا هي تاني شركة بيشتغلوا فيها بنات وشباب مع بعض. إنه كان شيء جديد إنه بنات عم يشتغلوا بالألغام، إنه مش هيني إنه يتقبلها أي حدا.
أكيد كانت صعبة شوي أول يوم بالنسبة لكوننا بنات، وأكيد 3 بنات من أصل مع 30 شاب يعني.
بس لا تفاجأنا فيهم طلعوا أخوات الرجال يعني بيشتغلوا مثلنا مثلهم وما في فرق بيناتنا وكلنا صرنا مثل الأخوة مع بعض يعني.
نفس الطريقة إنه مثل معاملة الشباب مع بعض هيك بنتعامل معهم، مش إنه الجنس اللطيف أو شيء خالص هيك.
Now we're in a village called Sultaniye, which is one of many villages contaminated with cluster bombs after the last war in 2006. We had already a previous problem with landmines, and then during that war we knew that there's going to be a new problem to be added with unexploded ordnance. What we didn't know is that there's going to be such a problem with cluster bombs. When we started to send assessment teams, survey teams, we discovered that the problem is huge. Everywhere you go, you used to see clusters, civilian areas, main roads, infrastructure, basically everywhere.
صرنا نسمع بالأطفال واللي عم بيروح واللي عم بيموت، وأنا كمان كنت بجمعية الرسالة الإسعاف الصحي. صار حوادث كتير ومنهم طفل عندنا بالضيعة راحت إيده وشقت بطنه مصارينا. هيدا اللي أثر علي كتير.
هلا إذا قلت لك أنا ما بخاف قلت لك بتكون عم بكذب، عامل أساس الخوف، يعني مستحيل إنك تفوتي على حقل وما تخافي على حالك. بس إجباري بدك، ما هن نحن ليش عطونا دورة؟ شهر وشوي كافيين لأنه نحن نعرف كيف نتعامل مع الخطر، عرفتي؟
مقارنة مع الحروب السابقة، مع انه كان في قبل مجازر وكثير انه اشياء بشعة، بس هي كانت حرب قاسية كثير وكان فيها انه مخالفات دولية، كان في من رمي القنابل العنقودية اللي بعدنا لحد هلا انه عم نشتغل فيها وننظف، لانه بعد في كل يوم عم يطلع لنا مصاب او اثنين بكل ضياع الجنوب. عشان هيك انه انا حبيت هالشغله، لانه حسيت حالي انه مش بس انه انا عم بستفيد من وراها، حسيت حالي انه عم فيد غيري كثير. مثلا كل كنا اللي بشيلها بيستفيد من وراي يمكن 10 اشخاص، يمكن 20 شخص، يمكن شخص واحد. هيك انه بتساعدي باقل شيء انه تنظفي، تساعدي كانك عم تشيلي الشوكه من الجسم الضعيف عشان يرجع يقوى.
والله بالاول كنت خايفه يعني من هالشغله، بس رجعت قلت يعني يسواها ما يسوى المقاومه اللي عم بطرحها.
بدي اقول لك شغله، انه نحن عندنا بالمقاومه من زمان مش من هلا، يعني في بنات وفي شباب، يعني كان الشاب بيقاتل اللي بيحمل سلاح يمكن بيوقف بالمقدمه على الجبهه، بس البنت وراه عم تحميه، عم تامن له حمايه، عم توصل له اكل، توصل له سلاح، عم تساعده يعني باي شكل من الاشكال تحت الخطر كمان، ايام ما كانت اسرائيل محتله هون، فطبيعي جدا انه هي كمان يكون عندها الروح وعندها الامكانيات. هلا في مجال ثاني يعني هي قادره تخدم فيه، ليش لا؟ ما في خوف يعني، اذا بالنسبه للخوف لا، ما في خوف لا.
أنا وقت الحرب كنت فكر إنه معقولي هلا ينزل صاروخ موت فيه؟ لا بديش موت هلا، بدي موت أنا وعم ساعد، أنا وعم جاهد. ما كان ببالي أبدا إنه إسرائيل رح تزت قنابل وإنه رح يكون شغلي بالقنابل أو شيء. كنت أتمنى إنه شيء أقدر ساعد فيه، بس لما اجت عرفت بقصة القنابل وهيك اجت براسي دغري إنه شو كنت أتمنى وقت الحرب. قلت إنه هذا الشيء اللي تمنيته الله بعت لي إياه، عشان هيك إنه راح.
And just an update for you. In the past couple of weeks, around 100 nations have agreed on a treaty which would ban the use of cluster bombs, but Israel isn't one of them. Well, still to come here on Everywoman, the nurses who risk life and limb to save others. That's after the break.